And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by Benson Wright. And Benson Wright writes, say that 10 times fast. Benson Wright writes, I grew up on Jackass and I loved all the movies that have come out since, and I effing loved this new one. I laughed so hard at one point I spilled half of my popcorn on the floor. I really miss seeing some of the old gang, but overall, I thought it was the best time I had at the movie since Endgame. What did you guys think of it? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, Jackass came out. Jackass came out.
I watched your video.
And we, of course, Ray and I...
a tale of two viewers.
A tale of two different viewers. Ray and I, of course, I took Ray with us to go see Jackass last night. We did our quick out of the theater reaction to it. Look, and I'm not surprised, because Ray going into it was like, look, I'm really nervous about seeing this because I don't do well watching pain stuff.
Anymore.
Right, anymore. I don't do well these days with pain stuff or poop. And I'm like... Well, you know, we even talked about the show. I said, I don't think there's going to be a lot of pain or poop in this. I was wrong.
That was the worst prediction ever John has ever said.
Since that there's going to be a third Spider-Man trailer on Monday Night Football.
This was worse.
This was worse.
Because I spent more than half of the time in there with my face buried in the back of the seat. I was literally, no one was sitting on my left. So I put up the thing, the little bar thing, the armrest, and I turned all the way sideways, and I had my head in the back of my seat. I was like, I don't care whatever disease I'm about to catch by doing this. I'm not watching whatever's up on the screen.
Because there was a lot of it. So Ray spent a lot of it examining the felt on the seat next to him. Even I gotta say, there were points in the movie I had to cover my eyes. There were a couple of points in the movie that even I had to cover.
And my ears, too. Just because someone screaming in pain is not on my top 10 of like things I like to hear.
Favorite things. So
you're such a kind soul, Ray.
No. I grew up on this stuff. I love these guys. Everyone should see it anyways, no matter what.
I'll tell you what. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching this movie. Listen, it starts off with a monster sketch, like a sketch of thing with a monster. That's all I'm going to say. And
like
I
a real
remember,
monster?
I'm not going to say anything else.
We're not saying that.
I'm not saying anything else.
But it's
all I'll say, it was a monster destroying a city and stuff like that. All I'm going to say is, when that started, I'm like, well, first of all, what I told Ray, completely wrong. But also, I'm like, oh, that's what this movie's going to be. That's what this movie's going to be. And it went to an 11 and it stayed there. Like the whole time through, it just stayed at this 11. And they did some of the most ridiculously stupid things. But I would be lying to you if I didn't laugh. Look, every once in a while I lament that it seems like we as a movie audience are just becoming idiocracy and all we want is ow my balls. Every once in a while, ow my balls can be kind of fun. And that's what Jackass is. It's ow my balls or ouch my balls, whatever the actual name of it is. That's what Jackass is.
There's only one team that I'll allow that to, and that is the team of Jackass. They get a pass because they've been doing it for years. What I loved about it is they're still together. Like most of them are still together in the group. Yeah. It's very touching to see that they're all still friends.
Seeing these buddies still doing
having fun, even though it's not the type of fun I would want with my friends. It's still a great group of guys that love each other, you could tell, and just have fun with each other. The best part about the movie was just hearing John laugh, even though I wasn't looking at the theater. Anytime like you go with someone and they're enjoying the movie, you could at least take that with you. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's a lot of people that can watch this stuff and the movie's perfect for you. But for me, there's like only 3 sketches that I enjoyed, but not only enjoyed, I laughed my ass off during those 3 sketches. I go back to the Impractical Jokers movie. That's how the Impractical Jokers movie should have been. Like I hated that they tried to put a story into it. That's what I thought they were gonna do with that intro of Jackass, and I'm glad it was just the intro. You know what I mean? There was no trying to put things together.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's in it. And by the way, people are liking this movie. It's got like an 89%. A Jackass movie. It's got like an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, and right now a 96% audience rating, verified viewer audience rating. So people are enjoying it and having a good time. There's a sketch All I'm going to say is that where they're in a dark room. And that's one of the sketches that Ray really loved too, is the one they're in a dark room. But I'll tell you the one that was one, I don't know, the one I laughed the hardest at. They're playing a game. It's like a trivia game. Except you got to stand there in nothing but your underwear. You stand there with your legs spread.
No cup.
No cup. And on the ground in front of you is this mechanical arm with a flip-flop slipper on it. And if you answer a question wrong, the arm and it smacks you in the balls.
It's terrifyingly fast.
And it's one of the
You can't even get out of the way in time.
Seen.
It's so fast, I was scared. Like,
I wanted to get a hold of Harloff and say, this is what you should do with the movie Trivia Schmodown. You make this a part of the movie Trivia Schmodown. I think you're gonna get a lot of interest around the world in this show. But they just went on, and some of it was so gross.
the Nagano punch.
Which you saw in the trailer. You guys saw that.
You guys saw that in the trailer.
UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou. They literally, here's what the whole stunt was. The dude he got to wear a cup, but the dude just had to stand there in his gitch with just nothing but a cup on and get UFC heavyweight champion, the hardest striker in the history of MMA, give you his just one solid best shot to the balls.
And he was sideways too. He was sideways, meaning he was turning his hips. And
he threw everything into it.
He threw everything. And the sound, I have nightmares.
Yeah.
Because
you can hear the cup crack.
You can hear crack.
Hear the cup
like reverberate. It was
God, dude.
It was. I couldn't watch it, but I heard it.
Why would you subject yourself to that ever?
They make it a lot of money, I guess. But I mean, but there was just something about these guys being willing to do just anything to entertain the audience. And,
no, man.
And it goes further. So look, I think it's safe to say at this point, Jackass is not a movie for everybody. And listen, you know already what Jackass is. Jackass isn't anything new. Jackass has been around 20 years. You already know if Jackass is for you or not, and you're probably not going to go if it's not. But if Jackass is kind of your thing, I still prefer Jackass 3. That's still my favorite, but this one was a really good time at the movies. I had a lot of fun. If it's not really for you, like Ray, you're not going to have as good of a time. But yeah, for me it was. So yeah, guys, go on over. Check out Jackass. If you have already, what did you guys think of it? Were you more like me having a great time? Were you more like Ray, a little bit more squeamish? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.